Ain't no fun in this shit unless we keep things lit.
Started from the bottom, bitch, started from the bottom. Man away from park, sipping beers, now we got bottles. And the models, they be stunning as long as I keep this flow running.
Hello YouTube, what's good? Welcome to my channel. My name is Dabsy and this is the course Getting Schooled. Basically, in this tutorial slash course, I will teach you the basics of using Ableton, a music production software, and the basics of music theory. Now keep in mind that Ableton is typically like a $500 program, and right now, due to the coronavirus crisis, you can download their full version for free for a 90-day period of time. So go grab that and come back to the tutorial and follow along, and I will teach you how to go from no music experience whatsoever to making your first song. And this in 4 episodes of this show, Get in School. I've been using Ableton for almost 2.5 years now, and I'm currently studying music theory at my local university. Zero knowledge is down here, right? And these YouTube videos, they kind of start up here. So if you don't have this space in between of knowledge, like the tutorials won't really do anything for you. So the purpose of this show is to be that very first milestone, so you can get this slight tiny bit of knowledge in the bottom, and then from here you can go watch other YouTube videos and just like learn whatever you want, man. I mean, all the information is out there, and yeah, if you want to learn everything, you can do it. So just go watch YouTube, learn what you want to do, and also stay productive, you know. The whole earth is basically on lockdown. If you have now a month of spare time, really you should use 3 hours of one day to learn or to make your first song. Let's see after if you're ever wanting to like learn production full time, or if you just made that one song and that was it, but you know, you still did something productive. And anyhow, so like I said, this is the first episode out of probably 4, at least in this season. Let's see if we do more, I don't know. But by the end of the 4th episode, season 1, you will know every single thing you need to know, from nothing to having a MP3 format or WAV, whatever, to have a song like that you can put on your phone, that you can put on a YouTube. Stay tuned, stay till the end of this video if you want to learn to make music.
Peace. This one bar that I got left. If this flow was any tighter, it would be a cassette.
Okay guys, so nice. We're inside Ableton. I hope you got to open it and got the free full version, which is awesome that Ableton are like providing right now. Also for this crisis, so like the same reason, they just want you to stay home. So stay home and learn music, you know. Yeah, okay, let's check it. In this left hand menu, this is basically your library. You can fold it over here or you can open it up again. What I want you to do first is to just hit instruments, and out of here you go to the instrument rack, piano and keys, and you can choose for yourself, but I'm gonna use the grand piano. Basically you just, like I did, I hit it, I grab it, and I pull it over to this first track and I release it. And now this is assigned to this first track, you know. So for the other tracks, you don't really need them for now. Go ahead, hit backspace, and they just delete like that. In the grand piano, there's a lot of knobs. There's way more in others, and it can be really confusing, all this stuff. So I wouldn't touch none of that for right now. I would just leave it like it is here, and actually even hit this arrow, just like take it out of the way. So you have a functional piano here, like you can trust that already. And we're not gonna use the library, so you can check that out as well. And basically now we have the instrument here in this one track we got in use right now. Double left click in any of these empty spaces to make a new video clip. Now you're right inside the MIDI clip right away. So hit this arrow again, you can see you just created a MIDI clip. You can move it here, and basically a MIDI clip is only information about what notes are played. So if you check this little guy up here, the headphones, you can play the notes actually. And yeah, so just make sure this is checked so you can hear. And you can tap these ones. Another possibility for you is, if you don't have a MIDI keyboard like I do, you can go ahead and actually just make sure this won't be checked, I think, but this keyboard button up here, press it like it's glowing like that, means it's enabled. The same with this guy, make sure it's checked, it's red. And from there on you can use your typing keyboard to play as well. It's pretty cool. So even if you don't have a piano, you can kind of come up with something. Anyhow, for now, let's continue into the MIDI clip and let me show you what I know that I think is really cool and really neat. So yeah, we're gonna make a scale right now. We're gonna make a scale for the song we're about to make. So how do you make a scale? Well, it can be complicated, but I'm gonna show you a really easy and fast way to do it that I think is cool, that I learned recently in my studies. So you see, here is the first C, number 3, and here is the fourth C, number 4. So from C to C there's an octave in distance and tones, and that is like 12 semitones. So all this together makes 12. And the 13th one would be the octave above this first one. So basically out of this 12 inside an octave, we want to choose 7 to make a diatonic scale. That's what we're going to use now. Very briefly, you can say that diatonic scales are major and minor. In like common speech on the street, you know, this is basically minor is more like melancholy and maybe sad, and major is more like happy and just like yeah, more easy to process, more like happy style, and yeah, minor is sad. At least that's the very comparison people typically use, I heard. So anyhow, in a diatonic scale we're gonna choose 7 notes out of these 12 half notes altogether. So it's pretty easy actually, this trick, I know. So let's say you start, or not let's say, you have to start at C, right? So if you check C and then just go checking every white note and skip the black half notes in between. So just like check that one, this one, this one, not this one, but this one, and this one, and this one. So you see this C and this C, they're the same note. So it's like it's higher, it's twice the pitch up here that this guy has, but this is like the full scale, but there are 7 different notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8 being the octave above. So basically now you got all the white notes picked out and not the ones in between here. And basically that's the C major scale. So let's check it. Oh, sorry. You have to go out and also hit play for the clip to play, right? Now you see it's counting, this is green, it's playing, right? To make this not pass so quick, you can mark it all, select it all like that, and hit this ×2. Or just like drag these to extend them, but then they don't also spread, so I am gonna hit ×2 again. And now it's not all inside my loop right here, so I want to make the length to 2 bars. Just this one, click and pull it up or down, you know. So 2 bars for now. So you see, that's the whole scale basically of C major, right? So we made a major scale, C to C, only white half notes makes the major scale. And what's really neat is that from here on, if let's say whatever major scale you want, you just move this and fit the first note of the scale to be the like the key you want to be in. So let's say you want G sharp major up here, right? You keep the same pattern, the same distances, and you just grab all of them and pull them up, to G sharp. And basically now you have G sharp major, so it's really neat, right? And yeah, let's say you want E major, right here. Just make sure you don't adjust the open half notes in between that's not used. Like, make sure this pattern is exactly the same and you got all the major scales. And basically, yeah, that's for major. Again, C to C, like that. Major, C major scale. And let's say you wanted the minor scale, there's another trick that's also pretty easy. So I'm just gonna take this away and not move them around anymore. I'm just gonna make a minor scale from scratch. So like C major was C to C. To make an A minor scale, you just go every note, every white half notes from A to A. So basically exactly the same. And you see that's 8 again. 7 I mean, and then the 8 being the octave above A. Basically here you go, A minor. This is the natural minor for if someone like heard about that stuff. This is a natural minor. You can just use this scale, it's pretty cool. So yeah, you got right here you got A minor, and before I showed you C major. And basically this one is the same, you can just move it around to whatever root first note you want to use. And you can also hit Command A or Control and just like mark all of this at once. And let's say you want D minor, so I'm gonna go to this D, right? And having them all selected, I pull them up to D, and basically that's it. That's D minor scale right there. So let's check another funny thing. What happens if I move this back to C? Actually, this is now C minor and not C major. So if you want that C major, you had to choose only the white ones, right? And like you see here, for example, the D, it's a D sharp, or I mean the E is like flattened to here, but that makes, you see now we're not playing only the white half notes. So we got like A sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So this is now C minor. And now it's B minor. You can also use the arrows to like move this around. So yeah, B minor, A sharp minor, and yeah, A minor. And basically for the sake of this video we're gonna use just that key, A minor. So right now I want to just like show you what is a really good trick, or show you a really good trick that I learned. So basically for now, without moving the height of the notes, you just like gather them all over here at the left side. So there you go, now you have all the notes in A minor scale stacked on top of each other like that. What to do next? You select them all, and you move them just before play, like just before 1. So when I hit space now, you're gonna see that nothing is playing, they're just there. Like they won't be played as far as they're before 1. Next thing you do, you hit Command D for duplicate, and then you go Shift up or down. I'm gonna go Shift up to move this whole octave or whole scale, an octave up, right? And put it back in the left side before play. And now you want to do the same actually. Command D, duplicate, and hit Shift and press arrow down twice. And then before play. Basically, what does this do? It gives you 4 octaves of A minor scale all the way, right? And now for the grand finale with this scale trick. As soon as you go over here and you have all this marked for like 3 full octaves, you want to hit fold, boom, dang. What you got now is only A minor all the way. So this is the scale repeated 3 times. And this is so neat because now, as far as we play on these notes only, and not the ones we folded away, everything you play will be in key and it will be quote unquote harmonic, to like related to each other, all the notes. And the very basics are that this, as we're in A minor, the root note, the first note of the scale is A. Right, this is an A. And I duplicate this one, press up to get the B. It's the second note of the scale. Again, third note of the scale, 4th note, 5th note, 6th note, 7th note, and the 8th note of the scale, which is the duplication of A, an octave above this first one. So you see, it's gonna sound exactly the same, but now you have it like, as you fold, you take away all the notes you don't need to use, so you just have 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And that's cool, because now it's all much more visual to us to keep going from here. So now what we want to do is actually to build all the chords in this scale. And you do that by duplicating this whole thing, Command D. And you pull it back like that on top of the other one and move it like that. And then you do the same thing again actually. So not to make so much noise, let's use the arrows like that. Boom, boom. And now you have the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th like that. Building a triad chord as long as you're inside or using the diatonic scale. All the chords in A minor scale. All the triad chords. So like I said, 1st note, 2nd we don't play in an A chord, 3rd yes, not the 4th, 5th yes. And let's say you wanted to make a 7th chord, you don't play the 6th one, but you add the 7th note. So in an A chord, the 7th note is the G. And it's gonna sound something like this, instead of like a little different. So anyhow, you could use 7th notes, 7th chords, like this, all the way. But I'm not gonna use it for this video, just to keep it super simple. Like I have stressed a lot already, I feel like. So, and yeah, so basically we have the scale 1. We have folded and taken away the notes that's not in the scale 2. And 3, we built all the chords in that scale. Now I would recommend you to choose 4 of these chords. And basically I would not use the B because it's a diminished chord. So I would just take that away. That goes for the B in A and C major as well. I wouldn't use that chord. So for now you have the first chord of the scale, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. The 8th as well I wouldn't use because it's like the first one, just an octave higher. So from here I wanna just let you know that the 4th and 5th notes, chords, my bad again, they are very like central in Western music in general. Ending up on this one is like a perfect 5th. Yeah, so we're taking away the B chord as it's a diminished chord, and we're left with A minor, C major, D minor, E minor, and F and G major. So basically I just want to decide real quick on 3 or 4 chords and just like arrange them. What I like to do is to go from 1st to 5th. That's called a perfect 5th. So basically I'm not gonna use the 3rd note, the C major. I'm not gonna use the F major. And I wanna go A minor to E minor, which is a perfect 5th. So I put this over here. And then to the 4th chord, which I said was also pretty central in like these two, compared to this one, are always used a lot in Western music. And then I want to use the 7th chord for the last round of the chord progression before I end up at A again. So now again you can select all this, hit shift and arrow to the right to extend them like that, and hit space to hit play. Basically we already have a chord progression. So we have the chord progression inside a minor natural scale, and we have the chord progression of A, first note, first chord, to E, 5th. So 1st, 5th, 4th, 7th. Then 1st, 5th, 4th and 7th. Basically you can just let them play. Like, I think this is a little quick. So I want to select them all and hit that times 2 again. And then double this once more to 4 bar lengths. So we have a chord progression. And yeah, also, like you see now, I didn't start down here in the first octave, because it's kind of the bass spectra of, it's like the first, it's very dark, right, compared to the other octaves we have up here. So like that's why I wanted to make three full octaves of this scale, because now you kind of have like the bass spectrum, then you got like the mid spectrum, and lastly you have like lead and melody to be really bright up here, right? So leaving my chords like this, I think this 7th note is a little high from this first one, so I want to try to level that out. And basically what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna mark this one, just this D note, and I'm gonna hit shift and arrow down. And basically it's still a G major chord. The only difference is that it's called an inversion of that chord. So you have like, you just replaced the notes in the chord to in this example we put the D4 to D3. We lowered the note D in the triad of G to make an inversion, yeah. So it's a little more, it doesn't go as high up anymore. It's not like pulling for even higher, it's more like tuning it back down, I feel like. And so yeah, basically now you hit this arrow down here. That's good. And we have this MIDI clip, like if you hit space at any time and this is checked, it will just play. What I would do from here is pretty simple. I just duplicate this whole thing. So just like you duplicated inside here before, you can now mark the whole instrument, the whole the channel that has the instrument, and hit Command D once, twice, like that. Now you have 3 tracks. Like I could stop this one and I could play this one and it would be just the same, or like that. And what I would do from now is basically go up here, hit Command R and type in chords, like that. Hit this one, Command R or Control again, and then go bass. Now 3rd channel, Command R, go melody. So yeah, maybe if it's your first time, you can also add to this one like A min. Just to be like, yeah, the chords are in the key of A minor. So should these obviously, but what's genius now is that we already made the scale before, so we don't have to go through all that again, you know? You can unfold it, you see the half notes that you don't want to play these in here because now they are not in key with the rest that we're playing, right? So that's why this fold button is so genius. I kind of love it since I learned about it, and yeah, it's nice. So for now, this is not playing. The first track is playing, the bass is not playing. I want to open the bass one, mark all the chords and hit 0, button 0 on your keys. What this does is that it just leaves the shape there, but the notes are actually like, they won't be played by the timeline going by. So if I hit play here, you see they're kind of there, but they're not to be played, so they're not active. So let's say I hit 0 again on these guys, it's gonna play. Same for this one, yeah, and not this one, yeah. So again, leave them like that. And now you see you got A, E, D, and then it appears that it's another D right here, but remember this is the G major that I did an inversion of this note, so this is G. And now I want to make a bass, so that's why I want to leave all this here, because it basically gives you an idea and to remember what notes were included in the triad chords you played or you're playing, like that's making the bass or the whole feel of the song, you know. So basically right now I'm gonna go here in A in the bottom octave to make the bass, we're in the second channel and we're on the bass instrument. Well, it's not a bass yet, but we just want to make the bass. So like I said, A, and we got an E, so I hit again Command D, duplicate, and move this up to E. And just right now I want to take a second to say it's pretty easy. Right here you see what I mean, that this is a perfect fifth, as in the scale of A minor, diatonic scale of A minor, you go first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this distance in the scale is a perfect fifth. And then if you go to the A again, it's like and like I said, just this relation that from first to fifth, or from second to the sixth, or from third to seventh, they're all like they're all perfect fifths, that relation. So, and like I said, if you can count from like from including the first to including the last note, you can see it. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps inside the scale of A minor. That means this must be a perfect fifth. Anyhow, it's easy to see from here. I want to keep going with the bass, so I duplicate this E, I put it down to D, and this one is a G. Maybe this G is a little too high for a bass, I don't know. And then what I want to do now is that I just want to like go like ladder down back to this one, and I'm just gonna actually swing by the same chords, the fifth and the fourth. So I have this and I go like this, duplicate, shorten, put it down to the E, and then duplicate to D. So basically, when the G chord is playing, I'm just like laddering by D or E and D, the fifth and the fourth chord of the scale, going back to the A. So yeah, like you can get very creative, of course, and I'm gonna talk more about rhythm in the next episode. But like for example, you could obviously go like dun 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 like this, but and make like more rhythm in the bass. But I just want to keep it simple like this. I can mix it up a little, like give it a go, for example, like this. Yeah. And this will be my bass for now. So you see, this is playing the bass instrument. I didn't hit play here. So let's try them together. Now we made this one, the chords, and in the bass MIDI clip we have ghost noted all the chords and just like added the bass. And I don't know if I said it, but the bass is pretty much sticking to the root note of the triad chords. So again, A chord, play the root note A, E chord, play the root note E down in the bass. For the D chord, we play the D in the bass. And for G, which here this one is inverted again, just to keep you reminded, but the G we have only for half a bar, and then we like ladder down the chords and end up on the first again. So yeah, this one is playing. Let's hit pause and add this one. It's not super duper fancy, but it kind of gives you a foundation, you know, for making a song. It's kind of a bed, and you have the chord progression, you have it kind of nice, you know. I'm not gonna go into mixing in this video. The bass should typically be a little lower than your chords. It's more like in the back of the song and not in the front, you know. So You can play with that for now, and I'm gonna teach you a little about mixing in a later episode as well. For the third channel, the melody, I'm gonna make this one super easy as well, like really easy, just to prove a point actually. And yeah, so let's say this D, I'ma put it back up, and again in this MIDI clip for the melody, I'm just gonna zero all this, ghost note them so they don't play. And basically what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make a melody now up here in the upper spectra of all the 3 octaves we chose. So basically, like, you can go free now because we folded, we took away all the notes that not in the scale, so you can just be like, or no, that's not gonna work. You can just play from here, I mean. Yeah, anyhow, you could just play like that and it's all gonna be in key, like I said many times already. But if you want to make it even more easy and you don't even want to be creative about playing around with these things, a trick is to go actually on the notes that's in the triad. So let's say this first bar right here over to here, you know that's A minor, right? So let's see the ghost note again. Okay, so we got A, C, E. So basically I can go A, C, E and it's gonna be the notes that's in the triad. Let's see. Yeah. So that's for A, right? Right now what I wanna do is I just wanna hit play here too, even though we don't have any melody yet. We just have the ghost notes. So let's see what happens if I go according to the triad. If I go 3rd, 5th, 3rd, 1st. Okay? 3rd, 1st, that's a C. Okay. Yeah, 3rd, 5th. So as you see, this is just related to the chord very much. So the triad chord A minor has A, C and E as notes, and I basically just added A, or those exact ones, the same notes, just the octave above. And I think this A is like, should go up rather, as the chord is going up so much. And I'm just gonna put this in the octave above, which will be the last note I got folded right here. So just like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, that's cool and that's really simple. I'm gonna do the same for these next chords actually. So again, 3rd, 5th, 3rd, 1st of the chord. So G, B, G, E. And what I just see is that we don't have this E actually an octave higher included. But what you could do is just go down here and hit shift and arrow up. And even though it's not marked, it's just gonna make it there because, yeah. And then an E. Actually, I think I want this G, try this instead. Yeah, I like this more actually, so there we go. Again, we got G, B, G, E. So we got G, B, G, E. We got the same order, just like here. Third, fifth, third, first. Third, fifth, third, first. Just that basically the fifth of the chord, which is B right here, is not all the way up there like this one. This one is rather down there and goes. Yeah. So again, I'm just like saying over and over that I'm just following the ghost notes. So for this one, I'll just do it and I shut up for a little while. This one needs to go down too, I feel. Yeah. Basically that's it, you made a melody already. Yeah, you can see it, you dig. It's pretty basic though, it's like I said, it's 4 chords. We got pretty much bass going around, along the root note of the chords playing with a little twist. And we got a lead melody playing only the notes of the triad chords that we're using. So again, you won't see any lead melody here that's not playing the same tones. Yeah, I won't be mixing, but I will add, basically I will add a 4th track. And you're gonna see how that works just now. So let's for example get this melody one and just like duplicate it and hit pause because we don't want that play all day. If you want to stop all of the clips at once, you can hit here. Or you can stop like each individual one from just hitting any of the boxes in its audio channel. So let's get this one. And basically what I want to do is just like get back my ghost notes like this. Hit 0 on this one. And then this D was the octave underneath, then like that, and delete all this stuff. Yeah. So we got this one playing just the ghost note, ghost notes, goat notes. Jesus, I'm tired now. Not the goat notes, but the ghost notes. And yeah, so we see we got an A. What I want to do that's really kind of simple. I think it's almost too simple, but I will show you. Basically this is an octave, right? And I don't know, but it can be kind of cool just to have that with like some echo. Maybe not so fast, but like this distance. Dun dun. If I now duplicate this and put it down to E, you see here again, when I go octaves, I go using the root note of the chord, which is A, you know, in this case A, in this case E, in this other case it's D, and I want to have them at the same place. So If you want to mark two objects not by pulling and selecting them together, you can just like hit it and then hold shift and press the next one. So like that. And then lastly, we don't have the D, but we got a G chord. So let's see it. Oh, we didn't pull this one down to be D, sorry. Maybe this is a little dark again, will blend too much with the chorus. The chord you see, here you got the chord and this is basically mostly underneath, so hit shift and put it one octave up. Let's see. Yeah. So basically this one will go from here, when it comes around and starts over here, it will just go one step up. So like, we got. But you will have that like twinkly sound, you know, like that's just going an octave. So I think that's a cool easy trick to add some spice. And basically let me tell you quickly that this B wheel right here, like I said, mixing comes for later, but this B button or wheel, whatever you want to call it, if you just put this all the way up, it's gonna give you an echo. And basically I don't want so much of this, so I put it here. Maybe like that is actually cool. And ultimately, like, you can just hit this one to play all at once. Basically, I think this lead, the main lead, is way too high. Actually, I wanna turn off this last channel or track that we made and just try to like slightly mix this one in with like the lead melody, just to mix it slightly with the bass and the chord progression. If you hit command and press more tracks, then like go enter, no, sorry, if you open a track like this and you don't have it all the way up like this, but you have it like here, right, like half screen, you go command and you basically hit another one, double click, and you get to see them together. Same with the melody. So I just wanted to show you this, that regarding what I said, you kind of see that you got the lead melody in the upper spectra, and later you got, if I mark, yeah, so we got the chord, the bass, and the melody, and they're all not the same. You see the bass is all in the bottom, these chords are over here, and the melody is in the very top. But the one thing that's pretty important to keep repeating is that the bass is, or the chord has a root note, in this case A, in this case E, D, and G, right? So the root note is basically where I use the bass again, just like here, shadowing the root notes. And for the lead melody, I go only using the notes that's in the triad chord. Again, this is just for now, you can go like freehand outside and just like play. So basically, I tried to mix these three, just like adjusting the volume slightly on them to where I can hear them all at once, and then I add this last melody with a lot of echo, like I said. Okay, so I'm done. I got this mixed out. I got these 3 channels playing Like I said, I will do a video of mixing later. For now, all I did was just like making these audible so I could hear all of them at once, you know. So I hear the chords, I hear the lead, and I hear the bass. And then this is what I added. You can boost that so you can hear it. Like I said, it's just octaves, so it's pretty easy, and it's just sticking to the root notes. It's very basic. And there you go. You have the audio, the melody, you have the foundation of a song if you want to create one. Yeah, so what did we really do? We built a diatonic scale from A minor or C major and just moving them around to get whatever diatonic scale you want. So we go in A minor natural for this one. I will show you a little bit of melodic and harmonic also later, again in another episode, but right here we used A minor natural. So we duplicated the scale twice, one time up, one down, and we hit the fall button. That is really neat. That just takes away all the notes that's not in the key. And then we built all the chord of that scale. And we avoided the dim chord, that was B, that I just took away. And basically we chose 4 chords. You can also choose 3 or even 2 or maybe just 1 and stick around the same chord. And then we arranged the chords. We chose 4 chords and we arranged them into preferred order. We used the 1st, the 5th, the 4th and the 7th. Then we duplicated that same channel and made ghost notes with 0. And then we did use the lower octave for bass and the higher octave for melody. We used the bass along the root note mostly. I did some stair climbing along the chords or the root notes we already used, but I didn't use any note that was not a root note for the bass. And then we worked with the lead melody, sticking along primarily the 1st, 3rd and 2nd note in the chord, in the triad chord. So yeah. And then I added some spice with that little bit of octave playing. And lastly I'm gonna add a drum kit and just show you how it's gonna play out. But first, what I wanna do right now is just rename this, put octave. Then I will change it up a little bit. So I hit this arrow again, like I said before. So I want a piano playing the chords, but I do not want the bass to be a bass on piano. So basically what I do, I go here and I'm gonna get a bass. So I went again into instruments, instrument rack, and we're just gonna have something that's not like electronic party, but more like a guitar bass, you know, like or hip hop maybe. Oh shit, that's cool. Let's get this hip hop bass. And I think that's kind of too bright for this very instrument. I don't know if you hear it. It's very bright. So I'm gonna mark it all and hit shift arrow down. There we go, right? I don't know if the mic even is like catching up on this. The mic check. So yeah, anyhow, we got, yeah, that bass is nice, man. Yeah, this can be cool, I think. And for the melody, I have something very specific in mind. So you go again, instrument rack, and there's something called guitar and plucked right here. In there, nylon concerto guitar, right? We get this to the melody, not the melody, sorry. We get this for the octave. Let's see. gonna go and try to hit another piano. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so lesson of the day for me: don't use the harp. Okay, so let's check it out with this little finesse on top. I kind of like it. I think we made a melody. I think I can say that we made a melody. It's not super fancy, it's very basic and all that stuff. So let's see what happens if I hit command now and then go all of this. Oh, I mean, if I open one, pull this down, I go command and hit the next one as well, next one as well, and the last one as well, and pull it back up. So basically we even moved out of the 3 octaves we had. We're adding another 4th one to the bottom just to get this bass line. What you see here is all the melody together. Like I said, this way is very strategic, like just attack it from start to end and just like go systematically at work. And it's fairly easy. I mean, I hope with what I said here you can go in, you can choose whatever of those diatonic scales and you can just build a chord progression and go from there. You know, you see how I done this, and I don't know, go back, watch the video again if you need to. Just like, that's about it. I'm happy. Now let's get to add some drums. So basically I'm going to use the 808 kick. I'm just gonna do it because it's nice and typical, and all this is playing, and I will show you so much more about this in the next episode. But like, what you need to know for now, if you want to add drum, you can go in here in drums, choose a drum kit. You can like preview it by clicking it like this. They're kind of shitty loud, but yeah, anyhow, like I said, I will use the 808. That is down here. I already added it up here. And same thing, you double click, you get an empty MIDI clip. And now instead of being notes, this will be drum sound. So check it. Yeah, you know, so that's how you do it. Yo guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking till the very end of this video. I appreciate it a lot. If something was unclear or not very easy to understand along this tutorial, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff YouTube got to offer these days. It will help me a lot. I will appreciate it. It will give me the motivation to keep going with this, you know. So if you liked it, just hit that, and if you want more, just hit that subscribe. And if you have any question, just type it in and I'll answer back to you personally. And the community, you know, sharing is caring. That's what we're here for by the end of the day. I'm sure I mentioned at least 5 things in there, that I wish for sure I knew back when I started this whole thing, because I was doing a lot of weird stuff along the way. So anyhow, you know, this was episode 1, season 1 of Getting School. If you want more like that, just stick around this channel because more will come. And episode 1, melodies, just this one. Next one will be targeting rhythms. So there you will learn like some basic stuff, you know, music stuff. I will go through like techno, hip hop, reggaeton, maybe some dubstep, like just explaining some basics. Again, very basic like this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm happy you're still here at this point. You even heard me jibbity jab for 2 minutes now. So to y'all, thanks for watching. Respect, show love, take care of people. I'm out.
Yo, Dab.
Let's hit it.